Hi, thank you for having me here at the Green Innovation Forum. It's always a pleasure to be here in Riga and meet some partners from Cleantech Incubator. So I'm Marit. I'm a Cleantech Innovation Lead at Startup Estonia. I've been working in Cleantech sector about 10 years, previously with organizations such as Stockholm Environment Institute and also Cleantech Accelerator, Cleantech Open in Silicon Valley, California. So I will tell you briefly about Startup Estonia, what we do, how we support startups in general, and more specifically cleantech startups. And then I will give you a couple of examples of new cleantech startups that are promising in Estonia. So Startup Estonia is a governmental initiative. Our aim is to support a startup ecosystem in Estonia. And our vision is to have 1,000 startups in Estonia by year 2020. And in order to achieve that, we have several activities that go together in those 4 pillars. So first of all, of course, we monitor the startups, who they are, what they need. So we have a database about Estonian startups. And then, of course, we lobby the government to have more favorable laws towards our startups. I will tell you later on about some of our recent wins. And then we work together with the ecosystem, together with startup service providers like incubators, accelerators, and try to listen to them to understand what are their needs. So we organize community meetups. Also, we can financially support some of their events and also fund a couple of startup programs where those programs that target those specific needs that are lacking in Estonia, for example, sales and marketing program for later stage startups in Estonia. Then we, of course, market our startups within Estonia, outside. We write a lot about our startups. We're active on social media. We run some events. We are co-organizers of the main startup event in Estonia, Latitude 59. And also we will have a booth at several other events like Slash in Helsinki and sometimes at Tech Chill in Riga. And then, of course, we want the startups to have more funding available for them. So, for example, from next year on, we will invest to accelerators in Estonia. And then we have room for innovative other projects. So we have developed these niche areas in Estonia where we see that there's a lot of potential in the market, but not so much activities going on yet. So these niche areas include cybertech, health tech, and clean tech in Estonia. I'll tell you more about them. A few facts about the startup ecosystem in Estonia. So we have around 400 plus startups that created more than 2,000 jobs and raised, paid 20 million in taxes, raised more than 267 million in 10 years. And some of our latest wins together with the partners in Estonia, we will have a startup visa coming up in the fall. That means that startups in Estonia get to hire employees outside from EU more easily, and other startups can found the country in Estonia more easily. And something I would like to announce as well, that we opened up Estonian Startup database a couple of weeks ago. It's created together with the Estonian Startup Funder Beam. So if you look at our website, startupestonia.ee, you can go and check who are the startups in Estonia. You can look them according to the categories, maybe clean tech, check who are the companies, how much money they've raised, how many employees, and so on, and click on them and see more information about them. So that's a pretty cool tool, and it's totally free to use. So then we have clean tech, where we see that the opportunities are there, but I think we should have more support from Startup Estonia side to have more clean tech startups in Estonia. And the program I'm running at Startup Estonia is relatively new still. We've been active 1.5 years. And so I'll tell you what we have done during this time and what are the lessons learned and success stories. So first of all, we started with community networking events to get feedback, what's really needed, and to really form a place where cleantech entrepreneurs and experts and people interested in a topic can meet. So it's a Cleantech Breeze is a monthly networking event where we talk about funding in cleantech, peer-to-peer mentoring, how to work with regional authorities, municipalities, and so on. Then you heard already about Climate Launchpad, which is Europe's largest cleantech business idea competition and program. I would say it's been quite successful in Estonia because it really targets the problematic area in Estonia. What to do with those ideas that are not yet suitable for an accelerator or an incubator. So this is the place where Climate Launchpad really helps out. And last year as well, we sent 3 of our startups to the European competition, and one of them won the 3rd place. And thereby, I would like to invite you all to Tallinn to the next Climate Launchpad European Finals, happening in October 7th and 8th, where you will see around 80+ startups from 30 countries from Europe. So it's a really, really good place to see the very, very new green tech innovation happening. So you will find more information soon on the Climate Launchpad website. I think it's not up there yet. And then we ran a cleantech accelerator together with Climate Kick. We are a partner for Climate Kick. It's an intensive mentoring program running 3 to 4 months, and we offer some grants for the best startups, and it's a equity-free program. But it's really integrated into the Climate Kick accelerators across Europe, so it's a good way for our startups to meet other entrepreneurs. We have matchmaking events to meet investors throughout our program in other countries and so on. And then, of course, Estonia is a tiny country. We cannot do everything by ourselves. There are others who do it better. So we try to cooperate with them. We have partnership with Nordic Innovation Accelerator. It's a matchmaking platform created by the Finns. It offers matchmaking for startups and corporates. Then a couple of years we've been active also together with Cleantech Scandinavia. Our startups have been going through the Nordic Cleantech Open competition in Sweden. We are partner for the Global Cleantech Cluster Association and partner for Climate Kick. So I would also like to mention a couple of strong players in Estonian Cleantech ecosystem that we at Startup Estonia work more closely with. So for Cleantech startups specifically, there's a niche area at Tallinn Science Park Technopole, and the Green Tech program lead, Kaia, is also here, so you can ask more questions about that program. And there's also a very interesting initiative in Estonia, Pakri Science and Industrial Park, that offers manufacturing and testing facilities for energy and clean tech companies and startups. At the Estonian Development Fund, company SmartCat that does investment, they have a life science track, so they are pretty much interested also in clean tech startups. Invested a couple of them, and Marble Invest is interested in energy companies, and together with Tallinn Science Park Technopole, they're running a prototyping fund called Prototron. They also have a specific clean tech track, so they're looking for ideas and they're giving out equity-free grants for prototyping. And then I would say we have quite a good support from Estonian Ministry of Environment towards green startups, and they've been supporting really innovative programs. For example, hackathons in cleantech, cleantech idea days, Climate Launchpad European Finals, Prototron, and many, many more. So now I would like to give you 3 examples of the new wave of new or young clean tech startups that are maybe not so well known here in the Baltics yet, but we think that they are promising, and they've gone through some of our programs. So one of them is Sympower that started at Launchpad, then also went through the Cleantech Accelerator. And now they got funding from Prototron, and now they are active in an accelerator, Rockstart in Amsterdam. So they are a demand response aggregator. They are connecting the home smart devices with transmission system operators. So whenever there is a problem with the grid or there are high peak hours, they can switch off the appliances at home and therefore reduce energy usage. Another startup, Reverse Resources, early stage clean tech startup that started with Launchpad, then went on to the accelerator. They're an online platform for textile waste. So whenever upcycling designers want to use the textile leftovers from these big textile factories in Bangladesh and China, they can easily order those textiles. And recently, they got a grant from H&M and are working with H&M in their factories also in China to see how they can implement the system. And another startup that didn't go through our program but went to the Cleantech Accelerator in Berlin, Co-Module. They are making electric vehicles, light vehicles like scooters and electric bikes smart. Having mobile app where you can also see, you can navigate and you can kind of cure your range anxiety, see how much more you can go with the bike. And also they have data available for these manufacturers of bikes, see how the bikes are doing. So I suggest to stay engaged with our news. We are pretty active everywhere. Like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our website, and so on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marit. Especially, we like the last slide with the president, of course, and his family. Well, we have time for a question from Marit, if there is any in the room. The people are just making photos with the iPhones with you, so the questions in the network.